Hi friends, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a how I store my inventory, how I inventory things that I've listed, how I pull things from the inventory video. This is a highly requested video by some of you guys, so I hope this helps a little bit. And also I just wanted to preface before I get into the video, this is just how I do it. It is not the only way. It is not the correct way. It is not the most efficient money-making way. It's just the way I do it, and I hope showing you how I do it maybe might give you an idea as to how you can make something work better for yourself. So let me just make up these coffees and then we will go upstairs, print a label, and then I will show you from start to finish how I pull something from the inventory that's sold, and then on the reverse, how I inventory something that I've just listed. So like I said, let me make this coffee. Took a detour, taking a walk this morning. So we're back inside now, and I'm just gonna print out the label for the item that we're gonna pull from the inventory and I'm gonna be shipping out today. And while I'm doing that, I'll put on the screen a little video of what's sold. This was a really exciting sale. I've had this dress for maybe a year now, and it's just interesting that I was talking about gunny sacks in my last video because this is a gunny sacks too, and it's a bridal dress. It's so pretty, and the crazy thing is it sold yesterday morning around like 9 o'clock. I had just cross-posted it yesterday morning to eBay, and it sold for $30 off asking. So I'm so happy. Like, right place, right time, right buyer. All of the things came together for this sale to happen. And we're going to print the label, and then we're going to go downstairs, pull it from the inventory, and I'll show you how I know which bin it's in and how I pack things for eBay, I guess, in particular. And then I will inventory a few items with you that I've already photographed up here. Right now we're in my office and my photographing room, and basically everything except for where I keep my inventory room. So I will show you a few things that I've already processed up here, and then I will show you how I put them into my inventory system, and then how I reflect that on my closet, on my listings, etc. So, like I said, here's a video of the dress that sold, a few pictures if I haven't put them on the screen already. And for this one, I'm going to ship it priority mail, but I'm also going to be adding additional insurance because the priority mail up to $100. So I'm going to add the additional insurance through eBay. And I have a Rollo printer that I absolutely love, and I would recommend to every reseller a thermal printer at the very least, but Rollo is my printer of choice. So as soon as this label pops out, we will head downstairs and pack up the sale. So we have our label, and now we're going to go downstairs and pull and pack the item in the inventory. And while I'm walking downstairs, I'll put on the screen the description of the item, because that's where I put, oh. Okay, yeah, like I said, that's where I put the bin that the item is in the inventory. Oh, let me, before I actually get too far, I'll switch the screen around and show you guys. Okay, so the very bottom of the stairs is where I keep the Play-Doh stuff. I just have it like separated like that, so I know which Play-Dohs it needs to go to and which Play-Dohs it doesn't need to go to, so I'm not showing them the same things 1,000 times over. Then I have a thread-up box that I'm working on, and right under the stairs is my shipping table with all my shipping supplies in there, and under there more shipping supplies. And then I have my surface so that I can look stuff up in the inventory if I need to. Oh, I guess an Audrey toy. And all of the inventory that I have down here. This is where I keep the jackets, The quilts and the blankets are here. And then here are all the bins. Let me just walk you down to the beginning of the bins. So obviously my inventory system starts with A. I chose letters instead of numbers because I didn't want people to get confused with perhaps thinking a bin number was a size instead of like the actual size of the garment. Because like if it was bin 12, somebody might have thought, oh, like, oh, this is size 12 and been confused that way, or you know, something could have happened that way. So I just decided to use letters instead of numbers. The letters don't mean anything except for exactly what they say. They're just letters. They don't, like, AA does not have special certain items that only go in AA. It's just bin AA. The only reason that I don't have more bins of A is because I can't physically lift them if they're too high. Like if I stacked another one on top of here and they were all full, this bin up top for me would be really hard to pick up because it's just too high and it would be too heavy. So that's why they stop at E, A, B, C, D, E in each section. Like, so here's section A and then section B, if that makes sense. And then section C, if that makes sense. And then here's the D's, and so on and so on. All the way around, all the way through O. Let's pack up the dress that I just showed you guys. And like I said, I popped on the screen, and I'll do it again now, the description of the item. So this particular dress was inventoried in bin IC. So we're going to come over here, and I made it easy for myself, and I put it right on top so that I could just pull it out and show you guys. So here we go. Oh, magically right on top. So this is the dress that's sold, and that's about how easy it should be to find things in my inventory system. When something sells, I just go look at the description of the item, and at the very bottom of every description goes a bin. It's a / and then I put the bin identifier. So EA or EB or FC. And like I said, this one happened to be IC, and that was where the dress was. So it's pretty easy if you remember to put them in the inventory system. So I also wanted to mention, if I'm packing more than one sale, because in this video I'm only showing you guys how I pull and pack one sale, and obviously it's very easy to match up one label with a single sale. But if I had more than one sale, what I normally do is print the labels out and then go ahead and write on the back of this little label slip what the item is and what bin it's in. And then I just go ahead and match that to each item as I'm packing them. And also these then become how I pull things out of the inventory. I'll just have a stack of labels with the item name on the back and the bin number, and then I go pull them from the inventory, and then they come over here and they get packed up. So hopefully that answers a few questions. I hope you guys are understanding this inventory video. I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, that doesn't make sense, why do you do it that way? And it's like, for me, it just makes sense to me in my brain, and that's, I feel like, the key to a good like a key to a good inventory system. Whatever makes sense to you, whatever works for you, whatever finds a flow with you and your business, do that. But this is just how I do it, and hopefully someone finds it useful, helpful. Yeah. So let's go ahead and pack this dress up. Like I said, this was an eBay sale, so it cannot just go all willy-nilly in any sort of mailer. And when we were printing the label, we picked a medium flat rate box. So let me go ahead and grab one of them from behind the steps. And then I know some people don't use tape on these boxes, but for me, where I live, it gets so cold. I always tape each end because I don't want it to come undone. And that would be horrible if your item just fell out, because no one's going to know who it belongs to. And then same thing with my label. I know some people don't put tape on the label. I always do that as well, just so it doesn't fall off. Okay, so now I'm going to pick you guys up, and I'm going to show you how I would inventory something that is new the inventory, something I've just listed. So we'll pick something that I listed this week and that hasn't been inventoried yet, and we will put it in the inventory system. So this giant basket right here is freshly thrifted, photographed, and listed inventory. It just has not been actually inventoried. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I would do that. I'll share my phone screen with you guys over here so you can see exactly what it looks like and how I do it, because normally I do it from my cell phone. So we are going to pick this Urban Outfitters little sheer robe, and all I do is find it in my inventory, go to my Poshmark closet, search for this robe, click on the item, click on edit, and then go all the way to the description, scroll all the way down, and I pick a bin that has room. So if you see on some of the bins, they have these little neon tags. They just say space, and all they are is so that I can see just from scanning around the room which bins have space that I can put new stuff in. So let's do that. Let's find a bin with some space. Here's one right here. FD. So we're just going to open it up and literally just put her in because there's a bunch of space. FD. And then we're just going to put in the description /FD. And now she's inventoried. I list everything on Poshmark first, and then I go ahead and put it into my inventory on my cross-lister platform, and then I cross-list it from there. So everything starts on Poshmark first for me. I don't start it first in an inventory system on a cross-lister platform. I know some people do that. I do not do that. It's just always how I've done it. I don't know. I get stuck in my ways sometimes, and that's not always the greatest thing, but it worked for me, so that's how I do it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you guys might have a question about. Oh, about shelves. Why don't you just get shelves? Because then you can go like as high to the ceiling. Well, correct. But shelves that are as heavy duty as I would need to hold all of this weight, especially when all of these bins are full, because a lot of my bins are really light right now. I'm really light on my inventory. My inventory, I think at max capacity with these bins is just around 3,500 items. And right now I have like 1,500 items listed. So my inventory is very light. But when all of these bins are jam-packed full, it's a lot of weight. So I would need like heavy duty shelves. And as you can tell, our basement is unfinished. We are renting, so we are not going to finish this basement. We're not going to put built-ins in. Ideally, that would be amazing to have like some built-ins or some custom built-ins. But even just the, the heavy duty wire shelf or whatever they are, the metal shelving, it's like $500 for, one that's this big. And how many can you imagine how many I would need to fill the basement up with shelving? So that's why I don't have shelves. That's another, because I know that would be a solve to going higher with the inventory. What else? Why does it stop at O? Just because that's where the wall is over here. If I needed to expand the inventory, I would just go to the next letter of the alphabet and probably just put it, rearrange them so they could be in alphabetical order. But right now I don't have a need to go past O. And why are my bins different sizes? These little babies are my original, my OG babies. They are my, what size are they? 55 quart. And unfortunately, we don't make 55 quart size anymore. We only make the giant ones. So I had to switch over when I was building my inventory out. And when we lived in an apartment, I only could fit, what was it? TH. H was the letter that my inventory stopped at in our apartment. Maybe if I have a clip somewhere, I'll put it in of what my whole workspace looked like in our apartment, because it was my inventory, my workroom, and my shipping station all in one room. So needless to say, I'm so glad to have everything so spread out now. What else? As far as shoes and handbags, they're in the bins too. I can show you that right here. They're not really as inventoried as I would like them to be. Let me show you. So if a pair of shoes or a handbag sells right now, I just kind of, oh, here's an Audrey toy. I just kind of have to come over and pick a bin that's full of shoes or pick a bin that's full of bags and look through it and find the right item. I should be more organized and actually use S1, which meant shoes 1, or H1, which meant handbag 1, but I just, like I said, my inventory is very light, so everything in this section is kind of small enough that I'm just like, okay, I can just look through all those, even though that does take a little bit of time. Oh, flaws to the inventory system. So I don't really think there's any flaws per se, unless you forget to inventory something. That happens to me sometimes, where you're going through and inventorying this whole bag right here. So you're going through and putting 50 things into the inventory, and instead of hitting, edit and save after you've typed in the bin number, you forget to do that, or you completely blank and just stick it in the bin and don't even look it up in the inventory, and then the item sells and you go to pull it and there's no bin number. Unfortunately, the only course of action that you have is to go through every bin. And that has happened to me before. That's happened to me recently, like I said. And let me show you what I do when that happens. So, you see this sticker? That tells me that I've looked through the inventory for something that was missing. I started at the beginning and went all the way down, all the way around, and then you'll see they stop. And that's because I found the item. Also, what do the years mean on here? Or what do these numbers mean? They're just the years that I've done inventory. So I've had some of these bins since 2021. And they just tell me that, oh, okay, I've gone through them for my inventory purposes and don't need to do them again. I just wrote the number on the bottom. So they don't really mean anything either. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I hope it made sense. I hope someone maybe is inspired to get a little bit more organized, because I'm telling you, at the beginning of my reselling journey, I would inventory things like I had a bin, but it was all jeans, or I had a bin and it was all t-shirts. Now, that's okay if that's all you're doing. If you're only going to sell t-shirts, then maybe, yeah, you could have a bin of size medium, or a bin of white t-shirts, or a bin of vintage t-shirts. But if you're going to be selling a bunch of things, it quickly becomes lopsided. Like, I would find that I would have like 1,000 pairs of jeans, and the jeans bin would be overflowing, and then I would have 2 t-shirts. So that didn't work for me. And if I had implemented this inventory system right off rip, it would have been so much easier. So if you can find an inventory system that works for you, you're going to be ahead of the game for sure. So that's it for this video, you guys. If you took the time to watch, I so appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button on your way out, that would be awesome. See you next time, friends. Bye.